The most common question I get asked by Chinese founders is also the one I was worst at answering most of my career. The question I have been asked over 10 years and working with hundreds of Chinese founders is a variation of this. How long will it take for our brand to succeed in Western markets? For most of those years, I gave a very diplomatic answer. It depends on the category, it depends on the budget, it depends on the execution. Now, those are all true, but to a founder, they're all useless. So now here's the answer that I give that I think is honest. It's going to take longer than you think, and most of the time it will seem like nothing is happening. And the brands that I've seen that succeeded are the ones where the founders realize that you cannot quit during that time where it seems like nothing is happening. The first 6 months of launching a brand can be really exciting. There's the new website, the first orders start coming in, you start spreading content that relates to yourself as a brand, and people start reacting. Now, normally around month 6 to 12, momentum starts to slow. And that is the point where founders start asking, is our product wrong or is the market wrong? And that plateau is not a sign of failure. It's actually the market trying to evaluate you. The first few months of attention could have come from curiosity, your network, or even the algorithm pushing new accounts that are posting regularly. Now, in months 6 to 12, that's where skeptical strangers are starting to actually come across your brand and trying to evaluate whether they trust buying anything from you. Now, the brands that I've seen succeed and the brands I've worked with that have succeeded the best take this 6 to 12 months as a refining period. They get sharper positioning, sharper content, sharper understanding of who was actually responding and why. Now, that's different to the brands that I've seen that will panic and move directions quickly to something else, or the brands that just keep posting the same thing, hoping it will eventually have success. Now, the brands that I've seen that use this 6 months to 12 months as a sharpening period, sharpen their positioning, their marketing, when it comes to 18 months later from launching the brand, they are clicking on all fronts. Because if you're sharpening that whole time, suddenly things just start to click into place. So now when founders ask me this question, this is the honest timeline I give them. Your first 0 to 6 months, you're going to see a lot of growth. Now, after that 6 months, are you able to operate for an additional 6 to 12 months after that growth period to try and sharpen your positioning, your marketing, your content, all of these things? It's hard to be able to say whether your brand is going to be a complete fit for your target market within the first year. So are you able to operate for longer than 1 year before you can truly assess how your brand fits into that market? Yes, we can do research beforehand. We can look at market fit. We can look at all of these things. But until you actually start posting, responding, showing up as a brand, and especially after your first 6 months where people can start finding you and deciding whether they care about you or whether they trust you and want to buy from you, you need to give time, at least 12 months. And this is not the answer that most founders want to hear. Most want to hear fast if you do it right. But the honest answer is it's going to be slow with a specific kind of patience that not all companies are built for.